currently on his national stand-up tour, having just completed international dates in Canada, New Zealand, and Australia, heading to Sony Hall in New York City on October 19th. Jeremy Piven is here on the program.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we're finally doing this, man. I mean, we've crossed paths over the years here in Los Angeles, and it was a lot of Los Angeles like, you should come on and we should do this sort of thing. And I'm always that person that wants to come through on that, and it's finally here.
A man of his word. Very rare in this town. Thank you.
And here we are. Yes. Finally, you know, talking some sports and chopping it up.
Yeah.
And Primitive War, available today on VOD. What's this film about, sir?
It's a Vietnam War movie. It's like Full Metal Jacket meets Brontosaurus, full metal Brontosaurus, which is also my stripper name, Rich. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Full metal Brontosaurus is here.
That was a Jewish goodbye. An Irish goodbye is when you leave without saying goodbye.
That's right.
A Jewish goodbye is when you say goodbye and you never leave.
That's right.
Never leaving.
We're here right now.
Yes.
I know what those Jewish goodbyes are all about. I've been here for almost 11 years saying
There you
goodbye.
go. You're never leaving.
Never, ever
Never.
leaving. What do you mean, like Jurassic Park and Full Metal Jacket? What is it? What are you talking
it's
about?
an R-rated dinosaur movie, and that's why people are loving it.
Okay.
It's blowing up because there's blood and guts, and there are feathers on the dinosaurs. And I'm this colonel with a southern accent screaming in the middle of the jungle. Mm-hmm. He's seen it all, and then suddenly he has to battle dinosaurs. So it's amazing.
Okay, so what's more bloody, that or the Bears' future, do you think? Jeremy Piven.
Well, listen, and I say this with love, Rich. We're 2-2, and I think your guys, have they won this year? I'm not quite sure.
Wow.
No,
Jeremy Piven throwing fastballs.
No, I'm asking
I
about
see how it is. No, I was the one who started. I agree.
Yeah.
No, I know, but you got to feel good. 2-2, right? What do you think here?
2-2. We got. Listen, man. We got my Cubs.
Oh, yeah, your Cubs too.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yes.
The Bears are 500. Caleb Williams looks like he's getting better every game.
How can he not get better? He's got a brilliant coach that's going to help navigate the way.
That's right.
We got a team with nothing but potential, and we're starting to get some good momentum here.
Yeah. And you flew the W yesterday. The Chicago Cubs flying the W.
Yes, we did. Oh man, I was so nervous. I can't even tell you. It was crazy.
There's nothing like playoff baseball is truly like, I mean, and I don't know if you're a Blackhawks fan or not, but I mean, they've been in game sevens, and playoff hockey game sevens are nerve wracking.
Yeah.
But playoff baseball is like one big non-stop game seven.
Well, you have
every pitch,
you
every
know
moment.
Wrigley Field. It's in the middle of the city.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's there.
Right.
Everyone stays.
Right.
Not like L.A. Justin Bateman and everyone else. They all get up and leave. I say that with love. I don't know why I'm butchering people's names and throwing them under the bus.
Right,
we just got here. No, but it's interesting in L.A. And we talked earlier about I'm finally leaving. Marlon Brando said, LA's the place where you come and you go and sit by the pool and you get up and it's 20 years later. So I'm having that moment. But no, if you look at all the Cubs fans, we want it so badly. I mean, so badly. And you can feel it in that stadium. I threw out the first pitch recently and got to hug it out with my guy Ian Happ and the rest of the guys, and it's a great group.
Okay, now how did we? By the way, our radio audience just returned.
Please, I'll beg you not to show it.
No, Jeremy Piven is here on the Rich Eisen. We don't have it. I will leave with that. But how did we do when we threw the first pitch?
In my defense, most actors are frustrated athletes. Mm-hmm. I was a 5'9" Jewish linebacker. Why is that funny? Why is everyone laughing, Rich? Well, none of us in the NFL, except for Julian Edelman, who's all of our spirit animals. Yes. Another undersized Jew. Listen. All the guys were so great to me, and one of the things where we can go wrong in this life is we can overthink things. And all I needed to get out there was just throw it. I was filming my stand-up special at the Vic Theater. I was peaking. I was up there on the mound, doing the thing. And I've done it before, and I get it, and I don't bounce it. And I had 116 different cues from the guys in my head.
Okay.
And I overthought it, and I bounced it. And when you hear an entire stadium groan, it's a problem. That's when you know something went wrong.
But you're not YouTube famous bouncing it. You know,
No,
bouncing it like 45 feet.
Obama 50 Cent situation.
You didn't do that sort of that's the painful part of throwing out a first pitch, Jeremy.
The only reason I didn't do that is I understand the moment.
Yes.
And I'm not filled with hubris. I get like, oh, this isn't my lane. I'm going to go and get a bunch of practices in.
Yeah.
And, I'm hard on myself, and it didn't go as well as I wanted.
Okay.
But that's the way life is.
And yet you're sitting here and you survived it, and you got your stand-up tour. Again, you're going to Sony Hall in New York City in October, followed by some dates in Palm Beach, in Dallas, Texas as well.
And then I'm at the Irvine Theater at the beginning of November, back in L.A., back here. We're going to get all the guys to come out.
Okay.
We'll see if people are real here.
Or you could just visit jeremy-piven.com for tickets here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's just jump into a few things from your history. The Larry Sanders Show is just one of the most perfect television shows of all time. Yeah. What was it like working with Gary Shandling on that show, Jeremy?
I was right out of college, and I understood immediately, that I'm on the bench and I'm witnessing greatness, and I just need to soak it all up. Mm-hmm. And they were incredible. He was an absolute genius, and I just was so lucky to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. I was walking across the parking lot. Mark Hirschfeld, who cast Seinfeld, approached me and said, would you audition for Seinfeld? I had never seen Seinfeld. I didn't have a TV. I'm a stage actor from Chicago. Mm-hmm. I still think I'm broke, even though I'm on a TV show. I'm living in the pool house without a TV. I'd never seen the show. He said, would you audition for George? I said, of course. I'm not even allowed to audition for. I'm on a TV show.
Yes, right.
So I auditioned, get the role, do the show. I was on Seinfeld and had never seen the show.
Right.
So I was playing George, being directed by Larry David and Jason Alexander, 3 different incarnations of George, and I'd never seen the show.
So when you're referring to the show
within the show,
the show within the show, where you played the Costanza of the show that was being put on about nothing that George and Jerry had sold to NBC, and you played that George being directed by technically, the real George, Jason Alexander, and then Larry David, who George is apparently based on, and you had never seen Seinfeld before.
No, never. But I talked to Jason in the parking lot, and so I whipped it. See, I'm still in that journeyman actor mentality right now.
Sure.
So, like, if you said we have an audition in the parking lot, I'd go, yeah, let's go. What are we doing?
Right.
So I just went after it and somehow got lucky and did it. I didn't even understand they were the Beatles, because I was just on the show and they were great. I didn't have a TV. So I knew they were a big deal, but I just got to hang with these guys, and they were amazing and great, and I had an incredible time.
But you were on the Larry Sanders Show at the time that
Correct.
you took that gig on Seinfeld.
I was a series regular playing the head writer.
Right.
And I played that character as if I thought I was not funny at all, but I was the head writer. Mm-hmm. So I played him in this very tragic way, and it was a blast.
Who are some of the guest stars on Larry Sanders that you got to meet that were really like big for you? Because that was the real deal that was coming through as the guest stars on that show.
Yeah,
back in the day.
I mean, we had everyone, and you have to understand, I'm a huge sports fan, so we had Sugar Ray Leonard and a lot of people doing the show, and you have to understand this kicked off original programming at HBO.
Yes.
So there are people doing the show who thought it was a talk show. They didn't know it was a fiction. No, literally. And it was incredible. My job on that show was to not break, and that was my only point of concentration. Was I have to get through the scene and look at Jeffrey Tambor and not laugh. That's all I was thinking.
Good luck.
Yeah, because everyone was a genius on the show. Yeah, everyone was crushing it.
Right.
And so I just got to learn a lot. So by the time I was up for Entourage, which is another HBO show, I'd been on stage since I was 8 years old. I started Second City in Chicago with Chris Farley. That's how old I am. Mm-hmm. This was the 90s.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I had done, 40 movies before I even started Entourage, so I was ready.
All right, I'm going to bite on that one. So you're doing Second City with Chris Farley?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, Chris was like no other, and he went hard in the paint. You know what I mean? And he was all in every aspect. Mm-hmm. But those were the days of Dennis Rodman, who another, I don't know why I went there.
Okay.
But someone else.
I'm loving this.
No, because I just thought hard in the paint, and that was a guy, and I said, how do you do it? You would hang out with Rodman until 1:00 and then he would get 11 minutes sleep and pull down 19 rebounds, still hammered. And I'm looking at the TV like this, and I'm going, how is he doing that?
You've experienced this yourself, is what you're saying.
I was in the belly of the beast with him.
With Rodman?
Correct. At Crowbar, which is a gay nightclub, until 1:00. Are we on the air right now? I can't tell what's happening. I'm telling you too much information. But no, I mean, we need an hour segment because I can unpack everything. My first movie was with your guy, Charlie Sheen.
Okay, who was here just yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so imagine me. I'm a stage actor from Chicago. I just completed my football career.
Yes.
And people laugh. Why is that funny? My jersey number said linebacker. My body said kicker. But I was doing fine. And then I got to put the pads on again and be in Lucas. Yeah. Charlie Sheen comes to town, and that's Hollywood royalty. I'm a huge fan of Martin Sheen. And on day one of our shoot, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm a paid actor, and I'm a football player. And he goes, dude, the only thing that's going to get me through this, dude, is if I have a 12-pack and a big fat joint, dude. Wow. And I was like, what?
Sounds
You got to be medicated?
I didn't see that line in Lucas.
The director came over and goes, Charlie, we're going to get on that 12-pack and that joint. He goes, dude, I forgot I'm Mike, dude. That was my first day on a set. He came out of the womb like that. He came out of the womb just a complete and utter wrecking ball.
Dude.
Yeah.
And this is a question about Chris Farley.
Yeah, I know I have a limited amount of time.
No,
Do you know
come
what I mean?
on, dude.
I'm just going. No, Chris was a genius from the jump.
Do you remember a Second City skit that you wound up being in with him? Do you have any?
They separated us because we were both a bit out of our minds. And so we were in the touring company. So he went, to the east and I went to the west.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremy Piven here on the Rich Eisen Show.
That's why I'm still here.
All right. So you got Entourage based off of your HBO time on Larry Sanders, or that was completely separate?
I mean, no, Doug Ellen, I think, had watched Larry Sanders and was a fan of that show. My agent was Ari Emanuel. So unbeknownst to me, I had been a dramaturg.
Yes.
And preparing for this role because that role is Ari Emanuel.
That's right.
So I was like, oh, I know this guy. I know him inside and out. And so by the time the role came up, I was ready. Like Shakespeare says, the readiness is all. And that was a blast. And my character was kind of a fringe player. He wasn't, and I had one scene in the pilot. And so you gotta stay ready. And so when the opportunity arose, I grabbed it.
Dude, it was like every scene, it was a spinning curve in the zone, and you took it to the deep part of the park every single
thank you, man.
You're very welcome.
That's incredible. And on the sports analogies, we would have all these incredible athletes that would come to the show. So, early LeBron, Tom Brady, and Russell Wilson said to me one time, he said, when you act, is it preseason, regular season, playoffs, or Super Bowl each take? And it sounds really pretentious, but I was like, it's the Super Bowl. Yeah. I don't know any other way.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to go literally all in.
Yeah.
And, sometimes it's misunderstood, but that's the way life is. I would rather just go all in than be available to schmooze and do all that. There's time for that, but I got to be locked in because you get one shot.
I mean, the number of times on my Instagram algorithm the scene of yours from Entourage shows up is nonstop. And there was one that popped in the other day of you leaving couples therapy because you just wouldn't countenance being attacked in there, and the way you just got out with a sort of a salute and walked off camera was just laugh out loud hilarious.
That's all Doug Ellen. Every word of that is written by him, and it was just a gift to be able to say these. But my character had to be. It's a big compliment that people thought I was improvising.
Yes.
Because that's all acting is. You take the written word and you're present and it feels improvisational.
Yes.
So the way I got to play was all the physicality and how I portrayed it. But it was word for word, and it was an honor, and I loved it. And ironically, now we have this whole new generation of these guys in their late teens, early 20s that have binged it since the pandemic. So there's a whole new audience for it. And they're out there rebooting everything but Entourage. No, literally, Saved by the Bell. There is no bell. No one's in school. What are we doing? Literally.
Well, you had the movie. I mean,
we had the movie.
I mean, you got the band back together for at least
we did get the band back together.
You know,
but people are clamoring for.
Well, where is Ari Gold now? Where would you say he would be if you could write your character? Let's do this. If we're rebooting Entourage, where is he in charge of an agency? Has he crapped out? Has he burned every bridge? Like where is
running the studio?
Is he running a studio?
Studio in the movie.
You know, there's so many different ways to go. I think if you're true to that character, what we've been through over the past decade, him navigating that, I think he might have rubbed someone the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Maybe a little bit.
So, you know what I mean?
Blamed out.
Correct. And then Lloyd would have to be his politically correct consultant, who would have to just, let's go, Ari. Let's go. Let's get the pronouns. Pronouns? You're a hasn't been. That's your pronoun. No, whatever. No,
there you go. We just came up with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he would have to probably navigate his way back in. I don't know. There's so many different ways to go about it. And, you know, I got to work with Mike Tyson and guys and creatively get them into a place where they felt comfortable to do their best work. Yeah. So I think, you know, Ari Emanuel owns the UFC. He's running, a sports management company. Yeah. So I think we could just take, you know, a cue from reality, which is what we did anyway.
Yeah.
So I think he could be representing a lot of athletes, which would be really fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways to go, Rich. I think it's fertile ground.
No, I love it. And before we move on, a couple other things here. Jeremy Piven on the Rich Eisen Show. Your favorite soliloquy, your favorite Ari Gold scene or soliloquy. You get the script from Doug Ellen and you're like, I am going to just chew this up and I'm going to spit it out and I'm going to stick the landing on this thing. Do you have one of those?
I mean, every one of them, there was no kind of moment that you take for granted. Every moment was like, okay, there's something here. A moment that you wouldn't have thought of is my character, his son doesn't get into private school. And so he has to go to the actor Dan Castellaneta, who played Homer Simpson. The voice of Homer Simpson is very prolific. And he's the headmaster, and I have to go to him and, you know, I think I'm going to strong arm him to get my son into school. And he goes, it's not your son, it's you. You're yelling. And so my character gets very emotional. And you suddenly get to see this other side to him. And Doug and I, you know, it was an interesting moment with us. And he's got kids, and I thought he might have felt the emotionality, you know, might have not been appropriate for that moment. What we've seen with Ari, and I said, you got kids, you get in the way of your kids' education. Would that affect you? And he said, absolutely. And that was one of those moments where we all kind of came together and submitted it, and I won my first of 3 Emmys for that scene.
Jeremy Piven.
Who's counting me?
Who's counting?
You know, guys, for me, if I could, personally, as Jeremy, as all these guys know, in the early 2000s, Ashton Kutcher and I were roommates.
I'm sorry about that.
It was a very good thing. And, you know, I was trying to describe to my friends in Pittsburgh what my life was like, you know, hanging out on the 70s show set. We're going to movies. And it was hard for them to even understand like what my life was like. And then Entourage came out, you know, and I'd be down in the Endeavor offices because he was a client. So I'd always see Ari down there. And it was, so that was like, gave me a chance to show my friends, like, you know, this is kind of what my life is.
Kind of.
Like, pretty much exactly
That's
what my
exactly
life was.
what.
It was like, it was like he was Vince and I was Turtle E and Drama all rolled into one, you know. And so for me, Entourage was just like my way of showing my boys, like, yo, this is what's up right now out here with me. Well,
thank you. I appreciate that. I think, you know, people felt, listen, if we got it wrong, we would have known. You know, we would have known about it. And I think, and I appreciate that. There's an authenticity to that. And I think people kind of miss that. You know, the #1 show last year on Netflix was the roast of Tom Brady.
Yes.
You know, and people really kind of dropped the gloves for that. And it was raunchy and funny. And I think people just need to laugh right now more than ever. And the sooner everyone gets that, the better for all of us.
And that's why, again, you're going around the world and the country and on your stand-up tour, jeremy-piven.com for tickets on that. Before I let you go, one last one for you here. Heat with Robert De Niro.
Yes.
Okay. Walk me through that scene, working with Robert De Niro, where you're the
I'll
doctor.
walk you through a little bit before that. I'm again journeyman actor. I'm waiting to audition 1 hour, 2 hour, and it hit the 3 hour mark where you're sitting there. I've got one scene, and you're just running your lines. And I just kept saying to myself, if you hold it together, you get to post up against Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally it.
Yes.
And so I held it together, and an actor broke. And he threw the casting assistant up against the wall. People started losing it because after a couple hours, you start to snap. I got in there. The great Michael Mann was there, and I auditioned for him and got lucky and got the role. And then
you knew it would be playing with De Niro.
Yes.
Prior to auditioning for this role.
Yes, that's why I said. That's why I said Michael Jordan.
You understood.
So, for me, being a Chicago actor and with a background in sketch comedy and whatnot, I'm ready. The moment there's a pause in the action, the director doesn't yell cut, I'm still going. And so I just start improvising with De Niro. And so that's how I have a career, is just kind of keeping it going. So now I'm improvising with De Niro and having the time of my life. And it was everything that you could ever imagine and more. And now they're doing the sequel.
Yeah.
Yes.
So before we get to that, even, I mean, what made it that you ad-lib with De Niro? Do you remember? Like what actually made the movie?
Like everything else I've ever done, if you look at Rush Hour, that entire scene was improvised. Just buttercream, cracks, buttercream. What's below the waist? Mystery meat. Let's go in. Hey, sweetness. That's all improvised. I made $270 for that.
Wow.
For that role.
Well done.
Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan each made $20 million. That's why I'm bitter, guys. This is why I'm bitter. What made it into the De Niro scene was my daughter gave me that shirt. Everything I said, I just kept improvising.
That was not scripted.
No. Because you got your backstory, and so if they don't yell cut, you just keep talking. That's how. The old say there are no small roles. Like there aren't. It's your job. It may be awkward for them. De Niro may be angry in the moment. Why is this kid still talking? But you know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen.
And what did he say to you when the scene was over?
I can't, we're live, so I can't say some of the things that, if you look at that scene, he's just dropping F-bombs on me.
Yeah, right.
And so that's how he went. That's how he plays. And he's so the GOAT. And he is. You can do one of two things. You can either freeze up or you can just let it go. Nerves are an energy, and then you just start playing.
That your daughter gave me.
Yeah.
I love it because that's a line that I remember from the movie. Primitive War is available today on VOD, starring this man, Jeremy Piven. Also going to New York, back here in Los Angeles. The Vic Theater in Chicago back in June was a stand-up special that's coming soon to a television set near you. The Palm Beach Improv, and then see him in Dallas next year as well. Jeremy-Piven.com for tickets. Thanks for coming on, brother.
Thank you for having me.
We just scratched the surface.
You guys. Yes.
Best of luck. Well, may more W's be flown.
Yes.
In Wrigley Field, if not in Milwaukee. We're up the toll road. It's significant.
I don't know if they'll have me back because last time I did the 7th inning stretch, they said, do your signature catchphrase. And I said, let's hug it out, bitch. And it was Father's Day. And the Cubs haven't invited me back. But there we go.
Wait a minute. Look at this.
Look at that.
Okay.
Okay, we're doing something there.
No, I mean I mean the ball is getting your, like, are you running through a curve? Are you spinning this? Like, what are you doing?
I
look at that. That's not bad.
It was.
You're rocking back.
Listen, I need to make it back to Wrigley. I need to right the wrongs. Let's go.
I don't know if the footwear was a great choice. I mean, you don't have any socks. You have any socks on underneath there?
I've got some socks,
okay,
man.
good.
I'm a bit of a slave to fashion, Rich. I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted the ankles. I wanted the ankles showing.
They give you a jersey?
I think that's what. Isn't that? Are you quoting Aroldis Chapman now? I mean, just kidding.
Well, I am like a Cuban baseball player in the way that I'm in total denial of my age. You know what I mean? How old is he? Wait, he's been playing for 40 years.
He's been playing a long time.
He's got like 6% body fat.
Funny.
He's built like Ray Lewis. How terrifying would that be?
Yeah. And it comes at 104 miles an hour or something like that.
But he's got some time off. Let's go Yankees.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's
Jeremy
go.
Piven with a mic drop, everybody. There we go. At Jeremy Piven on Instagram. And again, jeremy-piven.com for tickets to see this man as you see him on the screen. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.